I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Hello, hello. What's up, guys? Let me turn down the music a little bit. It's a bit too loud. Okay. So yeah, yesterday, for those who were watching, we were crowned the Odin Cup Season 3 champions. That's the home guild, and you know, it's been a combination of a lot of preparation, a lot of prep work, coming in even from early in the year. But just want to give you guys an insight on, you know, how all of this started and how we got to where we are. What's up, Adin up, Kitty, Sobi, Bew? What's up, Crazy? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much. You guys played very well as well. Congratulations. So yeah, a little backstory for you guys. It's a little bit of the backstory, right? Majority of us did merge, like players from, primarily at that time it was Mirage, which was my guild. We also had Nevaya, Mirage, Nevaya, and Home. 3 of us merged to one guild back in the Valhalla Cup to play for, to try and qualify for the Valhalla Cup, right? We finished top 4, I remember. But yeah, that wasn't like our best performance. There was a lot of things that I felt like if we were serious about competing, we should have done differently. So heading to season 3, it was in January. I remember it was just right after New Year, right? In season 3 January, you know, with when the Odin Cup was announced, we got into a serious talk again. And yeah, what's up, Helder? Welcome.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Cool. So yeah, like I was just talking about how we all started, right? So like, you know, we went from Valhalla, we finished top 4. There was a few things I wasn't personally happy about in our performance and, you know, our preparations leading up to that. So so yeah, like for season 3, early on, even before we merged, we had a talk about, you know, how committed we are, how serious this would be. And one of the things that I raised up, that was my ultimatum, was that we either do this seriously and, you know, actually have the best 150 players in the server together, or we'd rather not merge. That was like something that we brought up. I don't know if you remember that, Helder.
Oh yeah, I think my idea was for Odin. I mean, compared to Valhalla was like, you know, a lot of players were not fit to be in that roster. So for Odin, probably I said like, we need to, if we want to do this, we need to do this right. So yeah.
So yeah, like when I raised that to as because during that time I was speaking on behalf of Coup de Gras, which was my guild back then. What was Home's discussion? What was their feeling about that entire thing when that was raised up?
I mean about the merging.
Yeah, like testing over what 300 people to find who are the best fits in terms of jobs, compositions, and their commitment to the tournament.
Well, I think I was not still part of the council or
Mhm.
something. I have like I was trying to be part of the council that time, and when they said, we need to merge, all the guilds in Frontera 7 need to merge in order for us to like have at least a chance of fighting against the best. So I was like, I have no idea like that we would test like about 200 to 300 people that wants to join the Odin Cup journey. So I was not prepared, really. So I was shocked, a bit shocked also. So I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was like for me. I felt like that was the only way that we could really compete with a lot of top guilds out there. I mean, we scouted and we saw, right? Like, Islut was crazy, right? They had Wuz, they had all the top players from Terra 10, Light, Jejun, Gui, and also they also and other guilds as well. I mean, Titans before they merged, what was their guild again? Geffen.
Geff, I forgot the name. Tiamat's guild.
Tiamat was Payon Payap, but before Payon Payap and Geffen merged, right? And when we found out that they would merge together, and we saw like how strong that guild would be, then that was when, I knew that we have to be serious in this. We have to take this seriously. We have to actually have people who are committed to try and win this together, because it's not a 40-man effort, right? It's never about 40 people. It's about the entire guild working together as a whole. So yeah, like all the guilds agreed to it. Coup de Grace, Home, Mana. We all agreed to submit. Have all the members who are interested and committed to participate in Odin Cup Season 3 to submit their stats, and we evaluate and pick up the top 150 players from there. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of what that sheet looks like, and yeah, like we asked for their
Fucking hate that shit, bro.
we asked for
I've
their
been staring at that shit for fucking hours every day.
yeah, we asked for their jobs and whether they're okay with switching to different jobs to fit the composition or support whenever needed. We asked for their a lot of things. Like there was even like the things that a lot of people don't care about, like the PDEF, MDEF. A lot of people don't focus on a lot of these things, but it was some of the questions that it was in the sheet. Like you can see, PvP stats, of course, P damage, M damage reduction, ignore PDEF, MDEF, and just bunch of quasi stats and minor stats that people usually overlook. So yeah, that was just the preparation phase, right? I think it was a lot of people from home. Everyone from CDG filled up the form. I think nearly about half from Mana as well filled this up, and that was a long selection process. like for us, especially like me, Helder, a couple of guys behind the scenes as well, Mac, who else was involved? Tony and Harfun as well. Like throughout the 7 weeks of the Summit League, I think for the first 5 weeks, every single week we were checking players' accounts, like actually having them share screen, check their stats, check their equipment, check their sync, check their card decks, check their builds, so forth, everything. Like we checked everything for every single player, like every single player that was in the guild, And then we also checked the players who were not in the guild but were at the borderline of being able to contribute to us as well. So that was 4 or 5 weeks of checking every single week, and that was let's not do that again.
Never. I mean, the best thing about it was like seeing everyone like progress.
Or the growth,
Like,
yes.
I remember
yes.
like the growth is like, I mean, for you, you're the one who's checking, you're the one who's like helping them, and then after the week after, like if you're checking on the second week, and then like, they feel like, oh, I really improved thanks to you guys. And when we tested every week, they became
It gets
stronger
better,
and
yeah.
stronger. Yeah. So meaning we're doing a good job, and it's like it feels
The satisfaction.
satisfaction. All your hard work put into fruition.
Yeah.
But I guess I think the first week was like recruiting members, like testing the first batches of the members, and then we had to cut some people off.
Mhm.
Actually, like people there were like have high CP, have high DP, but when they underperformed, actually I was the one using testing
Yep.
against my genetics. So if they get like 1 hit or 2 hits, I made a ranking based on those. I ranked all the supports probably, and then based on those rankings, we decided who to put to main and who to put to sub, so
Yeah.
that we are like we are actually using the best of our members.
Yeah. So what we did was, like Helder said, we had a benchmark, right? Helder was the benchmark. He was going to individually test every single one of the supports, and for that week we also moved on to DPS, and alternated every single week pretty much. So during the first week, I think, would you say like 80% would have failed if we took the last week's requirement as the first week? 80% would have not made the cut.
Oh my god. I can't say like like everyone was like having like 7.5 raw def or something. I forgot.
Yeah. Like,
Everyone was running sub 400 reduction.
yes. And there was a lot
And
of
they were just terrible, to be honest.
yeah, like a lot of minor things we had to fix and instill with a lot of the members. Even simple things like our favorite, Antonio card my favorite Antonio card in the garment. A lot of people use the Antonio card in the garment. A lot of people were using Forest View in the mouthwear. What else was there?
Raydrick, bro.
Raydrick.
Fucking Raydrick.
Raydrick in 2025.
Raydrick in 2025. Like, God.
Yeah. So like the whole going into that testing phase, going into that character building phase, the mindset that, because I was the main strategist kind of, and also took it upon myself to make sure everyone is on the same page, as well as Helder. Me and Helder, before we even started this, me and him talked, and like we talked for like 15 minutes on chat, and at that point I think we knew that both of us were on the same page in just like a very short amount of time. Like we know that this is what we needed everyone to be, and then it was pretty like straightforward from there on.
Well, I have to say something.
Yeah.
You know that the difference between Valhalla and Odin's, you know what? Because we were here, hands on, actually. We
Oh.
didn't get to fix accounts of Valhalla.
In Valhalla, no. In Valhalla, I was more of a participant, so to speak. Like I didn't participate much in the entire strategizing, even the membership and everything else. It was pretty hands off. In Valhalla, it was more like Home was the main guild, and everyone else just sort of sent, here's 20 members to participate. This is our top 20 members. This is our 20 members which we want to participate in Valhalla. Same with Nevaya. They came in. It was, I think, 3 guilds only at the time. Mana didn't join us, but it was only 3 guilds at that time. So yeah, like it was just there was not much real discussion in terms of, you know, best composition, what jobs we need people to be, you know, what changes we need people to be in their accounts. But it was pretty hands off for me. But you know, that's where I feel like coming into season 3, I wasn't very satisfied with that, because you know, that was just, for me, that was very, it wasn't putting in a lot of effort for me. That's why, you know, season 3, you know, I want to put my money where my mouth was, and you know, kind of be a part of the change, and you know, lead the change at the same time as well. Yeah, so yeah, like, it was a lot of fixing people's accounts throughout the entire 7 weeks. Mostly in the first few weeks, it was the most of a headache. You know, people's PDEFs were 7.5k, and for DPS, like, we had to check every single DPS as well. DPS class players, like, there were a couple of DPS class players, physical DPS classes. Their ignore PDEF was like 6.5k or 6.8k or something like that. That was really stupid, because that level of ignore PDEF will be overshadowed by even the free to plays, right? As long as the free to plays are built right, they're easily 8k PDEF, 8.5k PDEF. So there's a lot of things that we had to change for every single member, and that just kind of led to where we were now. So yeah, like, I want to bring everyone through a little bit of the changes in the 7 weeks of the Summit League, right? First week, we won the first 2 games pretty easily. The third game, we played against Owls. We were losing by like 300 points before Owl Baron. Then we got the Owl Baron, but Owls was able to rally towards the end and get the win. So yeah, like, that gave us, like, it was the first week, you know, there was changes were still being made to the strategy, to the composition, everything. So like, as the first week, that being the first week, that was pretty gave us a lot of hope, I would say, because, you know, without much changes yet, we are proving to be on par with ours during that time. Very close matches, and you know, that was the first week. You know, changes continue on to the further few weeks, and then we got hit by a bombshell, right? When Raven changed to GX, I think that was in the 3rd or 4th week.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So also in the first 3 weeks, our composition, our main DPS composition had some serious issues where it was just all magic classes. All our DPS was magic, right? Ruben was magic, Ravenox was magic, Bipolar, Angie, Banaki was magic as well. And who was the last DPS?
I think Aris, no?
No, Aris was not. Dragon was the only physical we had at that point.
Oh, yeah.
But before that, everyone was magic, so that was it was pretty easy for us to counter in the reduction standpoint, right? So, and this was before Chooks and Zayat came in. Chooks and Zayat came in, I think Chooks came in first at week 3, because initially, just a little backstory. Initially, Chooks and Zayat wasn't going to join us. Because historically, I don't know if you guys do know that Mana at home had a little bit of a history back in season 1. That was like 2023. That was a long time ago, right? With a lot of different people. Like the management and the people back then was a lot different. But yeah, like they weren't planning to join us, but the leaders had a talk with Zayat and the owner, and of course Chooks, and they showed them, they showed Zayed and Chooks, how much effort we were putting into this, how much serious we were being in this in trying to win this tournament. So then they agreed to join. So Chooks came in, I think, about week 3 or 4. Zayed came in at week 5 because he
Probably the last week
Yeah.
before the start of the Odin, I think.
Yeah, pretty much very late because he wanted to max out. Sorry, not max out, but get a lot of the overrun cards.
Yeah.
Right. So before this, in the start of January, Zayed was 1.2 MDP, 1.25, something like that. Right, because he was chilling. Right, there was not much competition. There was not much things going on back then. He was 1.25 M in DP, but then Odin came up. He saw how serious everyone was, and he just went up 250k DP by the end of Odin. In 3 months, he went up 250k DP. He missed I don't know how many events because he was just chilling. He missed how many events, but through those 3 months, he got his account on par with Wooz and Taskwalker pretty much. All right, let's take a moment to realize how crazy that is. So yeah, that was how Chooks and Mana would Chooks and Zayed became a part of us, and of course some of the members that came in with Chooks and Zayed as well. So yeah, like that was like pretty much the entire backstory. Even before the start of Odin, everyone sort of agreed that the perfect party composition in main wasn't like a lot of DPS, but instead less DPS, just because of how our server is, right? Our server doesn't have 15 people that can fight against the top guilds of everyone else. We knew where we stood in terms of power, and we don't force it. Like we don't put in 1.3 M DPS in main, or like 1.25, because realistically speaking, they're not going to be achieving much. So even at the start of the discussions, it was pretty much decided that it was going to be 8 DPS at max, and 32 supports. 32 people supporting 8 DPS. Even early on, we know that Doram was pretty good. That's why if you watch our games, we have 8 Dorams. 7 in the last game, but we have 8 Dorams in main. We have 8 performers. We have 8 genetics. Initially, we had 8 genetics. We cut them down a little bit after we realized how broken RG was. We cut down a couple of the genetics, but we still had 6 genetics towards the end. We have, of course, the 8 priests, and yeah, like that was the main composition that we were toying around with. Yes, 7 in the last game. So overall, at the start, so Helder was mainly in sub, right? So
yeah, I have no choice.
yes, we know that if I stay, even if I stayed as a DPS, I'll be going to sub. Like there was no way I would be able to stand in main, just because we know, where we stand, right? We're just gonna be food.
I remember everyone like, "Oh, you're SC, we're gonna kick you, man."
Yeah, like we had mandatory like no-go jobs as well. Pretty much at the start, we did not allow any shadow chasers at all. Pretty much everyone who was shadow chaser had to either change out to a different class or not participate. And credits to everyone in home, actually. They were very cooperative with all these changes. They were they were more than happy to sacrifice in order to get this group win. So like you could see in the start, we had no SCs in main or sub, like 0 shadow chasers, or maybe just 1, or mostly it was 0, right? Then after a while, we actually
realized that they like are good in mobs.
Yeah, so
everyone was like happy. Oh, we're going back to SC.
Yeah. Like,
and they were like, after we announced it, after like 10 minutes, like 5 people went back to SC.
Yeah, so that was, I think, week 3, where we sort of allowed select people, not everyone, but a few people to switch back to SC. to help out in winning sub, just to secure the last hit on the mob. So that's why you see a couple of the higher DPs are SC. But you know, that was the whole philosophy in the secondary battlefield. You know, there's no useless class there. We try to reduce the amount of sorcerers and SCs. Sorcerers, I think even towards the end we had 1 or 2 only.
Yeah, cause the fucking RG and Shura happened, bro. It's like everyone. I mean, we were winning sub. I still believe we had the best sub in the game ever. So we were winning sub, and then RG Shura arrived, and everyone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna change job. I'm gonna try this one." And I mean, I thought they were just like trying it out, but eventually they just used it in sub. So I think probably we would have done a lot better, you know, with our previous composition in sub. But I guess it worked, so right.
Like even at this current time, we have 2 SCs in the guild. One just changed yesterday, so we had 1 SC in the guild for the finals of Odin. Right, it was only a X series only. Yeah. So like only 1 SC in sub. Everyone else was another job. Right, RG, Shura, a lot of gunslingers, and couple of Dorams. What else? A shit ton of genetics and wanderers. Right, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 12, 15, 18 wanderers. We have almost the same number of genetics in sub, and yeah, like that was the whole mindset in secondary. That was it. Like that's what we were building towards in secondary. In primary battlefield, that was the other thing was the composition. That was the one that was pretty much fixed. So yeah, like in terms of strategy wise, I actually took a lot. I was the main guy who came up with the entire movement based strategy, especially for holding Moon, because we know how hard it is to attack Moon if you have your precast there, right? You put in your genetics, you put in your wanderers. They are setting up areas where people cannot go in. It's hard to push into an area full of plants and just precast defense. That's always hard to break through. Even in RO Classic, even in ROO, it's the same thing. And I took a lot of inspiration from the Taiwanese server mainly, and also what Frontera 1 did in Valhalla as well. Is that if you look back in the games before, even before the rise of genetics and wanderers, what the Taiwanese meta is they never leave Moon. They will never leave Moon. They will always have people inside Moon and rotate to the sides whenever it's being contested, right? It made a lot of sense to me because holding 2 tablets and not trading means that, you know, you are able to continuously grow your lead. So I'm going to, since Odin is over already, I don't care anymore. So I came up with this movement in main. There was 2 primary strategies that we had in main. The first one was called Blue, right? Blue is essentially a defensive strat, right? Where you have where you try to hold on to 2 tablets and nothing more. Pretty similar to what Eos was running, right? They would hold 2 tablets and never move away from that. So if you can see here, all right, the main focus was always in Moon, right? So we have our spawn camper. This is Chuk's party in Moon, and we have genetic plants covering everywhere else, right, to make it hard to enter. And we have we had Zayed in the middle, acting as like the anchor. Anyone who gets past, you know, Angie, Banaki, Bipolar, Chuks has to deal with Raven and Zayed in the middle of the tablet. And that, imagine you get through Chuks at spawn, then you walk into Moon, you see Zayed there. You know how terrible that must feel. So yeah, that sort of made it. That was the backbone of our strategy in Moon. And if our side tablet is being contested, then we'll rotate 2 parties over to defend it. Now, why only 2 parties? Because most of the time, I'm the scout in main, right? I see the information of where everyone is, or at least where the majority of the player movements are from the opponent. So if I see 15 people in Sun, and if Moon is there's still action in Moon, it means that there is only at most 10 people in Star. So it's usually only 2 parties rotating, and the 2 parties rotating for us back then, the main rotators were Zayed as well as Bipolar, right? Because I know that these 2 can leave Moon for 30 seconds, and those in Moon are still able to hold because it's not a full 40 push towards Moon. And who can you send to deal with Bipolar and Zayed? I mean, there's probably less than 10 people in the entire global server that can really fight against these 2 when you play them together. So these 2 parties were the ones rotating a lot, making sure that we flip on the other side, right? And this was the core of blue. This is what I mean when I'm calling blue, is that we're gonna defend Moon and rotate people over to Star. Now our second strategy was mainly was built for Owls, because these guys, Owls was crazy in holding Moon. Like, it was very difficult for us to break through Moon. Like, it was crazy. Like, we tried brute forcing, we tried a lot of different strategies, we tried baiting, having me as a bait on the enemy side. This was in week 2. Like, I was baiting on the enemy side, in the opposite tablet, and by week 3, they already have a Doram scouting me on the other side. So I was like, a lot of credit to them. They were very good in identifying like our strategies and making a counter to it. So we came up with Red to as a more offensive strategy, where we utilize when we only have control of 1 tablet. So if we only have control of 1 tablet, say for example Star, then we would put ourselves in very aggressive positions in Star. This is what we call by calling Red. We have 3 phases, right? We have Rally, which is basically gathering in Star. We have Blitz, which is starting to reduce the numbers of people inside Moon. So you see, if you look at the positionings, it's the DPSs are in front to start killing the enemies in Moon. We're not committing to Moon yet, but once we clear out their core defenses in Moon, that's when we push. So it's Rally, Blitz, and then push to go into Moon. So like this was our 2 main strategies. We also had a third one that we prepared just for the grand finals, which is called bait and switch. Not a lot of people know about this because pretty much only 2 parties was brief about it. It was mainly having, instead of Bipolar rotating as the rotator, he's playing as the bait. He's playing on the enemy weak side, but he's not committing to the tablet because 5 people isn't going to be able to capture the tablet if the enemy rotates in. So he's the bait. The switch comes in towards Moon. The moment that we see Bonbon or Taskwalker or Wolves or any of their main DPS rotate over to Sun to defend, that's when everyone pushes into Moon. Now, this bait and switch strategy was essential in a way that, the team that is baiting cannot get Sun to half, right? They have to get Sun to almost half but leave. Why? Because if you get Sun to half and you leave, you're giving your opponents 53 points. So they had to make sure that they don't get it to half. They bait their opponents to rotate over, and then everyone else will push in towards Moon. So those were the 3 main strategies, and that's what we came up with, right? So what about in sub? Was there anything that we can share? I mean, Odin is over. Is there anything like we can share about what we were doing in sub? Because honestly, I never entered sub a single time against anyone. Like an actual opponent.
Sub is like pretty simple. I mean, we had the tools, we had the best players. I mean, sub players in the game. All we need was just take mobs, spawn camp, take mobs. The only difference was like with AOSC. I mean, there was Kiero,
Yeah.
the only person that could like
Trap
fight
him.
us,
Mhm.
fight our top players in sub. So I was like calling out where he is, just finding him, killing him, and just rinse and repeat.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it's like basically that. I mean, he got 800 kills against what was that, Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was still very confident about our sub because I know these people. I've played with these persons. I've tested them, and I'm very confident that we could beat sub. I mean, we like lost sub to AOSC like only
Once.
3 times, right? Or once.
Uh,
The second time when we realized how good that we need more mobs and like focus on those things.
yeah. I
Uh,
think most of the time sub was very close against AOSD.
yeah,
Right. Like even if we get 8k, they would get 8k like very
yeah,
quickly.
eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
But the other guilds were like, no, nothing could like probably beat our sub. We have Charles and then Raisa and then
Neza.
Neza,
Velin.
Grimjo, everyone. Elder.
Okay, put yourself in there.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, most of the time, Minaki was the one commanding anyway in Harpoon. I was like the voice.
The voice of reason.
The voice of reason. If they don't follow, I will get angry. So
Yeah, so that was our prep basically. We honed in that strategy for 5 weeks before week 6 and 7. We realized that because the score was too far for us to really even come up with to beat ROO and Islut because they were trading us. They were trading against each other basically, not intentionally, but their points were constantly changing because they had different winners in different weeks. So we couldn't chase up to the 3rd seed, which was what we wanted, ideally. So we dropped down to the 6th, 7th seed, along with Monarch. So during that time, week 7, the last week, once we basically secured the 6th and 7th seed, like there was a discussion that we had in the leaders group, was that do we mind if whoever we face, like do we want to have the easier route and face who was that, Daddy, or are we okay facing Islut? So like it was a pretty everyone was pretty confident that say, we don't care if we face Islut because we're gonna beat them. Right, so
yeah.
that's why we went to 6th seed. We didn't care. We started practicing early against Legends and against Finest Dewa. So like that was week 7, and yeah, even towards the end, fast forwarding a little bit. I mean, top 32, top 16, there wasn't really much competition. Top 8, I was not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous because we never faced against them before, but we know how strong Woos is, right? Like Woos and we know how strong Woos is. When he clicks Arbiter, like 20 people dies. So like we're always scared about that, but our strategy worked pretty well against them. They had no one to deal with the spawn camper because Woos was mainly rotating between the tablets, so Chooks could do anything he wanted in spawn. No one could fight him. And that's why you saw Chooks in like that game. He had 300 kills or something stupid like that, because no one could deal with him. Right? So that's that was Islut and Legends as well. They have Jingo, they have Sawboom Hakong. But essentially we just ran back the same strategy we did that we were practicing since the start. Nothing changed pretty much. It was basically the same thing that we ran, except more emphasis on the spawn camp. More emphasis on camping spawn. So that was that. Unfortunate for the finals that that the whole thing happened. Again, I like to apologize for I like to apologize for unintentionally really ruining the whole integrity of the tournament. It wasn't my intention it wasn't my intention at all. No, I wouldn't even say at the start, but it wasn't my intention at all. It was just so that I can showcase to everyone that what good guild movement looks like. Instead of focusing on, the whole focus was showcasing how important guild movement was, more than showcasing ours' guild movement. Because even since season 1 of Odin, I know how good the Thai guilds move. Back then it was out F4, it was Legends. Both these guilds, they had really precise movement. They even timed things like using Windwalk on their rangers to move faster across the map. So that was what I was trying to showcase, but unintentionally, would have might have been perceived as over analyzing the opponent's strategy. So again, I apologize for that, and did put a little blemish on the finals. Unfortunately, I could not be a part of it. I could not be in the main field, but thankfully, and of course, credit to every single player in home, they were able to bring it home, even with 149 people in the battlefield. So yeah, I mean, it was a long ass journey, 3 months, almost coming up to 4 months for this tournament. Everyone in home really put up with us a lot. I mean, weekly tests, spending hours and hours checking people's accounts, progressions, fixing builds, and also really committing to events, especially main battlefield. I am known to be what was the word that some people used? I'm very militaristic.
Toxic. Oh.
Fuck you.
Toxic.
No, it was like known as a hard ass and very militaristic. I don't think that's even a word. Militaristic. I don't know. Like, yeah, because I treat Guild League very seriously. Like I'm a very competitive person. If I'm gonna compete in something, I'm gonna give it my all, and I hold everyone to the same standards. But again, shout out to all the members in home for really putting up with that, and also to everyone in home who sacrificed one way or another. There was a lot of people who played DPS for 2 years, switched off to supports just for this tournament. If I start naming, there's way too many to shout out, like Papanyan, Akita, Ohana, Ares, a lot of people that really stepped up and made an important part of our success. And
Hey, you forgot something.
yeah, what is it?
I mean, who commanded?
Oh yes. So going.
Okay. Let me tell you guys the story. Okay. I mean, the moment I knew that Zero could not play in
Saturday,
finals, I was
yeah.
like, bro, I'm not gonna give up. I'm not like I put my heart, time, and effort into this.
Oh yeah. Like let's
Yeah.
let's dial back a little bit. Like when the verdict, when it was given, when it was known that I could not play in the finals, there was discussions about just forfeiting the finals amongst all the leaders. But thankfully, everyone agreed to, hey, let's try our best. Use what we've learned, and that's why we played in the finals. And of course, Helder was just going into that story. I'm gonna let you continue that, Helder.
Yeah, so when I learned about him not playing the finals, like I already decided, like I'm gonna play no matter what, and I'm gonna try to like give them like the best commander that I could think of, because no one wants to volunteer. I mean, who wants to volunteer? 150 people, 2 months of history, 2 months of like effort, and you're gonna bear all the burden.
Yeah,
in the final
it's hard. Like it's hard to ask anyone to do that, because
And you know who's the first person Zero said who's gonna replace him? And I'm being fucking honest. He said my name. He said Helder, and I was like, bro, I'm going to sleep. I'm not gonna reply to you. I'm going to sleep, bro. I'm not gonna allow that. I mean, I don't have the qualifications to command the best 40 people in main. So I found someone who can. Uh, Here comes Minakyu. Do you guys know Minakyu? If you see our lineup since the start, it's pretty similar. And during the finals, there's one person, the only different person in that 40-man lineup was Minakyu. So he had like I contacted him like on the day, Saturday of the finals, yesterday, like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, and it was the first message he received. I said like, bro, we need someone to command, or else we're going in there blind, and I don't want to go in there blind. I don't care if we win or not, but I will not like.
Yeah, we'll try our best, right?
Yeah, we're gonna try our best and show these people how our months of preparation. So I told Zero,
Yep.
send him everything you know. You teach him right now. It was like 1 in the afternoon, and I was like traveling, and I'm like losing signal and Minaki was also talking to me, and I don't know what happened between you two. I don't know.
Basically, I sent him our recent replays between Islet and Legends with comms, so he knows that what was the comms made and what's the usual calls. And I also let him know that, you know, if you want to go through it, the decision making together, we could. Like I was free the whole day. Like I can go through the video with him and, you know, discuss the decision making and things like that. But he was like, it's all right, I got this. Like he did not talk to me at all after that. Once I sent him the videos, like he went to the hyperbolic time chamber and probably just watched all the videos or something. But yeah, like I just sent him the videos and he was like, I got this, bro. Like, done. And, you know, did a great job. Of course, Ruben as well. Also secondary, also commanding in main for the 2 games. And yeah, like it was, yeah, you guys saw what happened.
But Minak, you never played main once.
Not with the strategy that we were running.
I mean, he played main before with
Yeah.
me and Ruben, but with Odin's, never. That's the first time he set foot on that map. I swear. And he was supposed to play main, but I was keeping him the command sub. He could play main also. But I mean, like, the courage to do that without, like,
in one day, less than a day.
Oh
like he had less than a day's prep, you know, going into that, having the pressure of, you know, having that pressure of people listening to you, and always that thought of, hey, if we lose this, it's because of me. That's hard. That's hard. That's why when we were asking about, you know, people to be commander, I said it out straight away. Like it has to be someone who wants to do it.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
actually, I mean, you doesn't want to do it. He had no fucking choice.
It was forced.
I was bugging him the whole day.
So yeah, yeah, did a really great job with you know, considering the time he had, and you know, later on, you know, if I have some time, so we can look through the final 2 games. I can show you guys like what I mean by our usual movements and some things that was a little bit slow, or things like that I would have done different. So that will give you a little bit of an insight. But before that, I want to show you guys this was our final lineup in main. It's showing secondary as well, but I doesn't care. So this was our final lineup against AOSZ, against Aus, right? As you can see here, 7 DPS. Where's my pen? All right, 7 DPS, 7 DPS, Iron Man was a support. Iron Man was a support. Basically, the entire party too was just supports, right? Ares was a RG. Back then, this was my spot. Zero. Sad face. Ruben is Wanderer. Iron Man is Magene, and Chaps is just making sure that these guys stay alive, right? 7 DPS, 8 Dorams, 7 Dorams towards the end, 8 performers, 8 priests, and initially it was 8 genetics, but once we realized how good RGs was, because a lot of people still don't know this, but the initial version of RG that was released was bugged. The taunt didn't work properly, right? So they fixed the taunt, and instead of making you target the RG for 1 second, what it does right now instead is that it makes you it makes the target unattackable. They cannot attack, right? They cannot use skills, they cannot move. They're just stuck there. So imagine if you're a Dota player, the RG's domain is basically Legion Commander's duel. You cannot cast skills, you cannot move out, you're just stuck there for 3 seconds. So props to Ohana for finding that out, and that's why we have these 3 RGs. Their job was simple: hunt Taskwalker, hunt Wooz, hunt Bonbon, hunt the whales, right? These were make their life fucking terrible, right? And this was the 3 people, and even Ruben as well. His job: look for them and CC them to death.
Yeah.
Right. So we had 4 people. 4 people that was focused in that, but genetics. You guys already know. We heavily prioritized Dorams since the first week because why we came up with the conclusions that Dorams was good is because it was actually a test that we did between Bipolar and Raven, right? Back then Bipolar was like 1.28 and Raven was like 1.4. So if Bipolar 1v1s Ravens, he loses every single time. But the moment he gets possessed, he wins every single time. So if a Doram is able to make up for a 120k DP gap while also counting as a body in a tablet, we have to have Dorams for all the DPS. That's why you see we have Dorams for every single one. So that's why we have so many Dorams. I don't think any other guild runs as many Dorams as we do. So that was the entire thought process of the main battlefield, right? Domain, yeah, the burst skill, the red stance. I think it's called the warrior stance. Warrior stance burst skill. Once you use that and you shield press the opponent cannot attack. They cannot use skills. They cannot move. They're just stuck there for 3 seconds. And yeah, like that's the whole thing for the main battlefield, right? So yeah, heavy prioritization in Dorams. This is me. Fuck off, Miracle. I'm kidding. Great job, but yeah. So yeah.
Oh, you're the only Doram who doesn't want to get in someone.
Yes, I like. Why do I possess someone? Like, So a little insight on my role as well. Initially, I was supposed to be a genetic. And because that was what I played in Valhalla, I was mainly a CC genetic, but then I realized I can't see shit as a genetic. Like I'm constantly dead, or I'm only seeing a small part of the map. So like as a commander, you need to have information of what's happening where, and that's why I switched out to Doram. I went into the role of the roamer, the baiter. I'm just constantly running everywhere, trying to see what's happening. Also, I played it as a CC. Most Dorams play possess. I played outside constantly, barely invis. I'm always showing myself so that people are baited to hit me and I can control them for longer durations of time. So if they're hitting me, if 5 people is hitting me in a place that has no points, that means that one person is removing 5 players somewhere else. So that was like my whole contribution to into the main battlefield. So yeah, like that was what it was. I But yeah, like super long journey. 1/4 of the year gone for this Odin. No regrets though. Like happy at how it started, happy at how it finished, and you know, happy to be able to be a part of this journey.
Fury's win over top.
What?
Fury's win. Fury won.
Theories win. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of theories, in during our preparation, and Helder will kill me if I when I release this. It's gonna be released regardless. But when I release this, those that were in my guild, even since the start of Ragnarok, right? ROO, right? I used to do like what we call TED Talks with everyone in the guild in terms of like how to build your character. So we did that in home as well, and I would like to think that it helped out a lot and worked. But yeah, like I'll be editing that. Maybe I won't edit it, but maybe I'll just release it raw. But I'll be releasing that on my YouTube, as well as my POV of all the matches we had that I recorded. So yeah.
With your voice?
Yeah, with our comms.
TED Talk?
Yeah, no.
I mean the TED
TED Talk has voice. I recorded with voice as well.
Oh my god, I was drunk.
Great to know. But yeah, like I'll probably start uploading them later on, and if you guys want to have a look at what it was, all the strategies of all the information, you guys can subscribe, click like, click subscribe on the channel, and the bell button as well, so you'll be notified of new videos, and you can check that out once I post them. I think I'm just gonna post all of them today. Fuck editing, I'm too lazy for that. So
Follow me also, guys. Thank you.
yeah, of course, follow Helder on his social media. He is at Helder blah 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 on YouTube. Most of his videos are about them losing DD and just me trying to salvage the entire run. But
True. True. That's true.
oh, speaking of DD, Helder, it's been a great run. But
Yeah, I know. I expected it. It's traitor. It's fine.
all
I
good
already
things
know,
must
bro.
come to an end.
Yeah, I know. Who pays there?
But yeah, we're gonna release all the theories without top up on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, like as well, and yeah, I hope you guys can learn something from it. Any last words, Helder?
Thank you, home. Thank you, guys. See you in the next one. I still have some left in me, so drain it all out. We're gonna still fight for it.
Yeah. Historically, there's not been a single back-to-back champion in any of the tournaments in RO. So let's see if we can do that, or is the curse gonna continue? We broke one curse. Who knows? We might do another. But hey, we know that the competition is going to be. We have a target on our backs now, right? So it's gonna be harder next time. All right, that's it. That's gonna be all from us. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the little insight, the little backstory of how all of this happened. And of course, before we go, shout out to everyone watching. Shout out to all the members in home, and also for the players who didn't make it to home. Especially my older guild in CDG. A lot of sacrifices were made from everyone, but I hope that this victory is able to make up for it. So thanks, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace out.
Time to match. Goodbye.